Hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm Anna.
We're the Hutchinsons.
We own Hutchinson Maple Products in Lake Paul, Nova Scotia, and we're the largest certified organic maple producers in the province of Nova Scotia.
For over 21 years on the road, running a successful trucking business, we've had quite a journey that has taken us home here to Hutchinson Acres.
This is our story.
Hi, welcome to my kitchen. I'm Leanne, the sales manager with Hutchinson's Maple Products, and today we're making a sweet potato, kale, black bean loaf with a tangy maple gastrique barbecue glaze. And to start off, I'm going to take you over to my stove. So first we're going to fry our vegetables in about a tablespoon of olive oil. My pan has already been preheated and hot. So I'm going to add 2 cups of finely chopped mushrooms. You want to hear that nice sizzle in the pan. 2 cups of finely chopped kale. You don't want any big pieces of kale, so nice and finely chopped. 3 cloves of finely chopped garlic. And the recipe actually calls for dried oregano, but I had fresh thyme, so I'm using that, and I'm going to cook it in with my vegetables. I've probably got about a good heaping teaspoon here, so we'll add that in. And we're just going to fry this for a few minutes. It doesn't take long. I'm doing it at probably a medium heat, just till the kale is kind of wilted and the mushrooms have browned slightly and given up some of their moisture. This smells amazing already. So the dish that we're doing today is a vegetarian dish. It's actually vegan. You can add your own improvising, you know, if there's things that you like instead, certainly add those, but it's great on its own the way it is. And those are done. So we're going to take those off of the heat and bring them over to the bowl. So now we're going to assemble our sweet potato black bean loaf, and I'm going to go ahead and put the vegetables that I've just fried into a bowl and get all the little bits out of the bottom here. And we're going to add our 2 cups of mashed sweet potatoes, our 1 heaping cup of black beans, and I say heaping because it takes most of a small can, 398 mils of black beans, so there's a little bit more than a cup, and that's okay. And 2 cups of slightly overcooked lentils. And the reason I say slightly overcooked is because when they're mushy, they help bind the loaf together. I cook these in vegetable stock, but you can cook them in water as well, unsalted. And add those. And we're going to add a 1/2 cup of oat flour. Oat flour, you can just take a 1/2 cup of regular oats, put them in a blender, and ground them into oat flour. I used a high-speed blender, but I think a regular blender or even a food processor would work. So we're going to add that. And we're going to add some salt and some pepper. Oh, probably a good 1/2 teaspoon. And some ground pepper. And we're going to mix this all together so it's nice and incorporated. And the recipe states if you find it a little bit dry, you can add some vegetable stock or a little bit of water and make it moist. But I find this is just about the right consistency. We just have to make sure that the oat flour is all incorporated in here. There, that looks pretty good. And we're just gonna go ahead and put it into our loaf pan that's been prepared with some parchment paper. Makes it a lot easier to get it out of the loaf pan with the parchment paper, because you can just simply lift it right out. And the recipe as well will state to put it into 2 loaf pans. I put it into 1. It just makes a thicker, taller loaf, more like a meatloaf. This is great. You can use it as a supper with a salad. I personally would eat this for breakfast with the sweet potatoes and the lentil and the kale, and it's very, very tasty. Okay, put that over there. Actually, we'll just squash it down a little bit, make sure it all goes into the corners. And we're going to add our topping. So our topping, we need a third of a cup plus a tablespoon of ketchup and an 1/8 of a cup of barbecue sauce. And we're just going to mix that together. And a third of a cup of pure infused maple gastrique. And it looks like it's exactly a third of a cup. And we're gonna just sort of mix that together a little bit, incorporate it, and then we're gonna pour it over the top for our glaze. This is a great little tangy barbecue sauce, and the maple gastrique makes it a little bit sweet. There, that's pretty good. And we're just gonna pour that all over. Spread it out into the corners. And there you have it. And we're going to put it into a preheated 375-degree oven. Because we're doing a larger loaf, the recipe states 35 to 45 minutes cooking time. I'm going to do it a little bit longer, probably about 50 minutes. So we're just going to go ahead and put it in the oven. And here's our finished product, our sweet potato, kale, black bean loaf with a tangy maple gastrique barbecue glaze. And you can find this recipe and more on our website at hutchinsonacres.com. And as well, if you do try it, please let us know how you enjoyed it. Thank you for joining me in my kitchen today. For all of the recipes that we're sharing, please visit hutchinsonacres.com for the complete recipe. Plus, while you're there, if you want to visit our online store to purchase our products or to find retailers that are closest to you that carry a full line of Hutchinson Maple products. And if you do decide to make these recipes, please drop us a line and let us know what you think.
Next week on Hutchinson Acres, Chris and CJ talk climate change in the sugar bush.